in Bucks history to have 40-point games in the same playoffs. That was Kris Middleton. Now we hear Giannis.
Hey, Giannis. So obviously I know you don't pay attention to what we do, but the other day I
do pay attention.
Got it.
Pay attention very carefully. I just don't read it.
Right, that's fine.
Okay, but I pay attention to what you do.
Appreciate it. So the other day I'd asked Brooke and Drew about the idea that it's pretty rare for someone to score 40 points in an NBA Finals game, and then you did it twice. And it was kind of like the idea of maybe since Giannis is so great so often, do we not appreciate it enough? Kris put up 40 last game. It's a short list of dudes that have put up 40. Just what does it mean for you to see Kris continue to shine on this stage? He had multiple quarters with 20 points. I mean, he's just been huge this whole postseason. For you being with him as long as you have been, what does it mean for you to see this?
It's amazing. It's a lot of hard work that paid off for Kris, and I know how great he is. And I feel sometimes he doesn't get appreciated enough. He's a great freaking player. He scored 40 in the NBA Finals, and he was an All-Star this year. What we're talking about. But man, he's great, and you see moments on the court, sometimes because you're his teammate, you take them for granted. Going down the last 2 minutes and scoring 8, 10, 10 points in a row. That's greatness to me. And it's not the first time I've seen him do something like that. I've seen him do it again. I saw him do it in Atlanta. I saw him do it multiple times during the regular season. And we need him to keep doing this. We need him to keep closing out games. He's really good at it. I'm proud of his journey from where he started, where he is right now. But we gotta keep going. We cannot focus in the past. We gotta keep getting better each day, and hopefully we can get the job done, because the job's not done yet.
Just before coming in here, I was asking questions of Jay Crowder, and it reminded me that you guys played the Heat last year, and you went down 2-0 in that series, and you weren't able to answer. What do you think is different about this team that you guys keep going down in series and keep being able to answer?
I think we've worked extremely hard throughout the year, building winning habits, and just every game competing. I feel like when you compete every game, you put yourself in a position to win. We don't worry about the outcome. We don't worry about the score. We just worry about going out there, making winning plays, compete as hard as we possibly can, and doing it together. And sometimes when you're down 0-1 or down 0-2 or whatever the case might be, you don't really care about that. You care about how can you get one, how can you get a second one, and then you kind of build momentum, and good things happen. So I think we got to give credit to all the winning habits we built throughout the year, that we're able to even when we're down, still figure out ways to win games.
On the right side, Giannis over here. You're now the owner of one of the signature plays in Finals history with your block on 8 in there. I'm curious, over the last couple of days, have you watched the replay? Have your teammates, or you just moved on from it entirely?
I haven't watched it. I think the first time I kind of watched it was today in the film session we had. But great play. It's incredible what your body is going to do. When you're thinking about winning, you go to extreme. Cannot explain the play, but at the end of the day, that's in the past. When you talk about the past, that's your ego talking. It's in the past. It's over with. I gotta move on. I gotta keep making winning plays. I gotta keep competing. I gotta keep finding ways to help my team be great. So, but great moment. I appreciate the moment. Great moment. We gotta move on.
Hey, Giannis, after you got that cramp in Game 2, Pat talked about how sometimes you can run yourself into the ground. What's the balance between leaving it all on the court and making sure that you're not pushing yourself too hard?
Oh, no, I'd rather get cramps. That means, I push myself too hard. I'd rather get cramps, in the fourth quarter, whatever the case might be. And I know, when I go back home, I can sleep at night. I know that, I gave everything.
Jeff in the back.
I don't recommend it, though. Do not work out until you get a cramp, But I'm saying if it happens, be happy with yourself that, you went extremely hard.
Giannis, Game 4 was your first finals game that went down to the wire and was tight. What was the feeling like? What were your emotions in the final 2 minutes of the game? What did you experience? And how different was that feeling than, maybe say 3 minutes left in the first quarter?
Yeah, it's different. It's different because, like, that's an NBA Finals game. Obviously, the ball can get a little bit heavier, down the stretch, and because both teams want it really bad, both teams are competing in a very high level, and it comes down to like really details, and who's going to win the game. But what was going through my mind is that try to just keep, making plays defensively, offensively, set screens, roll, execute, like just keep whatever I could, whatever I can possibly do to, help my team win. But in that specific game, yeah, give the ball to Kris and get the heck out of his way.
Do you feel nerves in that?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
No, obviously, as I said, the ball get heavy, but like, if you're only thinking about winning, and you don't think about, what's going to happen next, can get heavy because like you want to win so bad, so it can get heavy. But like if you go back and think about, the specific 3 minutes, like damn, it was 3 minutes in the, game 2, game 4, and it could go either way. Now it's kind of, the environment kind of get heavy, those 3 minutes. But like at that specific moment, I wasn't thinking about what's going to happen at the end of the game. I was thinking about that specific play. How can I set a good screen for Kris? How can I block a shot? How can I rebound the ball? How can I run? How can I, get the easy layup? How can, what can I do to help the team win? So my mind is so occupied by that I don't think about, the pressure and all that.
Sam?
Giannis, we've been seeing Liam in here after the games, and I wonder, in the bubble, and he came to visit you, he was real small, you know what I mean? And you've had all these playoff series. I wonder, like, now that he's a little older, that age where you end up playing with him, and, does that make it easier to disconnect from some of this basketball chaos?
Oh, yeah, when I go back home, yeah, obviously, it helps a lot. I feel like in the bubble, you couldn't escape basketball. Going to the hotel, the whole teams were there, everything was there. Going to grab lunch or dinner in the restaurant down in the lake, everybody was there, players. You couldn't escape that because I'm really competitive. I couldn't escape that competitive nature of mine. But like, sometimes, in the middle of the games, now, especially now that we have 2 days, you can go back home. I can play with Liam, be with my significant other, be around my mom. My mom lives with me. And just escape it for, a little bit, 24 hours, whatever the case might be, and then, come back in it.
Right. Wanted to ask you, too, the comment you made about ego. I mean, you're 26 years old, and, I've covered plenty of players who didn't seem like they figured the ego part out until their 30s. I mean, who taught you about why that's important and to handle it that way?
I think I'll say life. Usually, let me tell you this. Usually, when from my experience, right? Like when I think about like, oh yeah, I did this. I'm so great. I had 30. I had 25, 10, and 10, or whatever the case might be. Because you're gonna think about that. Oh, we won this and that. Usually, the next day you're gonna suck.
Right.
Simple as that. You like the next few days you're gonna be terrible. And I figured out like a mindset to have that like when you focus on the past, that's your ego. I did this. We were able to, beat this team 4-0. I did this in the past. I won that in the past. Right. And when I focus in the future, is my pride. Like, yeah, next game 5, I do this and this and this. Right. I'm going dominant. That's your pride talking. Like it doesn't happen. Like you're right here, and I kind of like try to focus in the in the moment, in the present, and that's humility. That's being humble. That's not setting no expectation. That's going out there, enjoying the game, competing at a high level. And I think I've had people throughout my life that helped me with that. but that's a skill that I've tried to like kind of how you say it, kind of like perfect it.
Master it.
Yeah, master it, and it's been working so far.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna stop.
Doing okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wait, Lisa and then Jim for the last two.
Hi, Giannis. Actually, I'm kind of just follow Sam's question. You just mentioned after down 2, you guys feel like you just focus on the next game, how to win the next game. So since when you realize you and your teams kind of like want to live in that moment? Since when that kind of a change happened for your team and yourself?
When we were focusing and being in the moment.
Yes, because a lot of players or teams like so, in fact, from the past, let's say they're down to 2, it's very hard for them to bounce back. But for you guys, since when? Because for the past few playoffs, there's a lesson for you guys to learn. But since when you realize that change, the mature, really happened from your team?
I think it starts from the environment, the leaders, the message that they push back to the team and to everybody. But we've been down before. When we were down before, we didn't act like it was the end of the world. We were like, okay, we know what the deal is, and we're going to try and go and execute. We wasn't worrying about going and trying to win 2 games in a row. Like, we didn't worry about that. We're going to try and go back and execute, and try to put ourselves in a position to win. Now, if it went our way, which we were extremely happy, but it could go on either way. It could go the other way, and we'd be back home right now. Nobody would be talking about us. But I feel like as a team, we're really good in like turning the page and like look at the next one. Okay, in this page, this is what we got to do in order for us to be in a position to have a chance to win games down the road. And I think that, the team have a great mindset in that, and hopefully we got to keep doing it moving forward.
Jim, last question.
Yes. To follow up, when did you decide that was a skill, the staying in the moment was something you wanted to have and to work on? And the reason I ask that is because I know early you had said, I want to be great. And that is a thought of the future of wanting to.
No.
I mean, like back when you're like 18, 19.
That's the objective.
Okay.
That's the plan. Now there's steps to it, So you have your objective, you have your plan. I want to be great. I want to help my team win. I want to do this. And every day you wake up, you do little things that take you to that, right? Take you to, like, imagine a line, right? This is where we are. This is the objective. This is the end. And now there's little things you do, which this is the present, that being the present allow you to do those things in order for you to get there. If you try to jump, you're going to fall in the cliff, and I think I started doing this probably my 5th year. My 5th year in the league. I was like 23 years old. But, hey, that's the mindset I have. I'm not saying that that's the right mindset to have, but for me, it's working. I'm enjoying my life. I enjoy the time with my family, but it might not work for everybody. Some people might be thinking differently, and but I feel like once you're living in the present and you're enjoying that specific moment, you get to enjoy that moment to the fullest. Once you start thinking about the future, what's going to happen, you're losing in between. This is, I don't know why. This is when we were talking about basketball. Now we talk about mental skills. Let's talk about basketball.
It's part of it, though.
Yeah, it's part of it for sure.
Right. So, did you look to someone else, or see someone else, or study someone else to say that this could work for me, or did something happen for you in that 5th year or so where you're like, wait a minute, if I stay here, it's another step. You know what I mean?
And on my own, and with help too. and we help. You got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in yourself. And on my own, I kind of had the skill, but how can you master that skill, kind of thing? And like mastering that skill, it's not gonna make you a better basketball player. You know, I'm not saying it's gonna make you better, but it's gonna make you enjoy your life more. Enjoy your life more. Which that's the objective, you know, to enjoy every single moment you can. You're not gonna be happy all the time, but at least to have joy. So yeah, by myself a little bit, but then I kind of asked for help, talk with people, and you know, and vets and other people that helped me with that.
Great. Thank you.
Hey, you guys.